We are live.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today, Elena?
I'm doing good. How are you, Jeff?
I'm doing very well. I'm excited to be here with our LinkedIn Live community and the opportunity to talk to them yet again.
Yes, today we have a new topic. We'll be talking about something exciting, AI.
You know, I'm very fortunate and glad that we have that topic. After last week's meeting when we had the president of National Iron Bank on, I didn't know how we were going to follow up. So I'm glad we have this very
Yeah.
exciting topic.
Yes, we'll keep the bar high. So yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah.
Indeed. Well, would you like to get started? Are you ready?
Yes, I am. Totally. Yeah.
Fantastic. So I guess our topic today will be AI and the application for managing risk. So tell me, Elena, from your perspective, how do you see AI impacting the world of risk these days?
Okay, so I think that although the technology is quite developed, it doesn't get enough recognition and application yet, although it has a lot of potential. And what it can do for managing credit risk is just really amazing. And we at TurnKey, as you know, we started using it a while ago, and we can see the actual tangible results that it brings to our customers. So there are a lot of hype. There are a lot of mysticism kind of around AI. So, but in reality, how we use it, there are so many different things to think about when you manage your credit policy, when you manage your underwriting standards, that for a human, in ever-changing environment, it gets really hard to overlook and to control everything. Mm-hmm. So there are so many modules and so many steps that can be taken care by AI. And gotcha. And we know that some are, AI enthusiasts, they get carried away with neural networks and those exciting tools, and they just do it for the sake of improving their models and getting better results. But being very practical in TurnKey, we don't do that. So we just look at the actual benefit that our customers can get by using certain tools. So we don't retrain our AI models. We don't change them unless it makes business sense in the first place. Okay, so it's not about just running neural networks all the time, retraining, retraining our models. It's just about business sense, and that's where we're very strong.
So in the world of AI, could you use AI to look at not only, say, a credit score, but behaviors during the loan life cycle?
Yeah, that's the whole point. The point is that the model keeps up-training itself. It keeps looking at your changing situation, at the changing data that it receives from applications, from external data sources, and it improves and predicts what results you can expect in the future if the situation remains the same. We don't predict too far in the future because, again, the model is dynamic, so it keeps changing itself. So we usually, to our customers in our solution, we show like next period results, and they have this freedom and ability to change and to adjust their operations if they want something different, not what the model predicts based on the current situation. That's how we use AI for managing portfolios. So the system collects all the data in real time. It builds all the estimation and gives you early warning what might happen if you don't change anything, if you have to change anything, or what results you can expect if everything stays normal.
So it can act as an additional guide or an additional set of resources for a lender to leverage in any type of economic condition.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But
Fantastic.
we also should understand if the economic conditions change so drastically as it happened this year, then the model would require human intervention. So
Mhm.
we still want someone to take a look and make sure that the model trains itself properly. There was this case with AI. I believe it was Amazon who used AI algorithm for sourcing for their talent acquisition. And then after some time, they shut it down because the model was discriminating against certain categories of people. So again, you need someone, even if it's machine learning, it's still a machine. So you need someone, a human, to check it now and then and to make sure that it's learning the right thing.
Gotcha, gotcha. And I bet this experience that we're having, the data that we're collecting during these times will be able to give us a different parameter in a very drastic economy that we can use going forward, plugging that data set into neural networks into machine learning.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what exciting about AI. You can apply it at so many different levels.
Mhm.
We discussed briefly portfolio management. That's one application. But even for small lenders who have like just really small portfolio, a handful of loans, we use AI to find additional ways to reduce their credit risk. For example, you know that traditionally when lenders use, credit scoring models, they look at a set of parameters like variables, and each variable has some categories which have their weights. So basically using in application form certain information about the borrower, you can calculate a credit score. The higher the score, the better. And some variables, they have certain logic, like the longer your employment history, the
Mhm.
better for the model and for your score. But by applying AI and doing so-called cluster analysis, we found that sometimes even for good parameters, when they combine in a certain way with other characteristics, they might represent risk. For example, going back to the employment history. So when AI analyzed all these correlations, we found out when longer employment history is combined with smaller income and some other characteristics on the borrower's application form, it increases the risk dramatically. So based just on that cluster analysis, we can create additional business rules for our lenders so that they can identify that those cases and reject certain applicants based on the
Mhm.
algorithm that was found by AI. It's pretty much impossible for a human to find those correlations and so those combinations. It can be done only by machine, right? So that's very exciting, and that has very tangible and very real life impact on operations of our lenders.
Very nice. And could you use AI for every step of the loan life cycle that, say, our enterprise solution manages?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we take it very seriously and very mm, from a practical perspective, right? If there are some steps that still have to be done by human, we don't want to disturb or disrupt the process that already works, right?
Of
So
course.
although AI technology is quite developed, it's not there yet. It
Mhm.
can make mistakes. That's why we don't put our solutions on total autopilot. Even if we do, we still have someone supervise and make changes or adjustments. But the technology is developing, and that's our vision, that eventually the whole lending life cycle, end to end, every single step would be put on autopilot. Everything can
Very
be.
nice. Very nice. What would be, why would AI be important to some lenders?
Just again, because it gives them, it's very flexible, and they can find the level of comfort for themselves. If they are not ready to use like full capabilities of AI that we offer, they can start with something simple, like going back to my example earlier, they can introduce certain business rules that even if the score is high, but if, let's say, there is a certain combination of borrower's characteristics, we still want to reject this particular borrower. So that can be like a first introductory, very practical step that they can take. And even introducing it, they can see what would be the results, what they can expect for their portfolio. So how the default rate would change, how the acceptance rate would change if they start doing introducing certain AI tools. So that gives them control, and that gives them additional advantage in accuracy in predicting their credit risk.
So they could potentially sleep better at night.
Absolutely, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of giving peace of mind to our lenders, so that they can focus on running their business, expanding their business, and our AI will take care of all the everyday
Nitty-gritty.
operations. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for the time this morning. We look forward to any questions that you may have. If you would like to learn more about our AI and our machine learning capabilities, feel free to reach out to us on LinkedIn or myself or Elena. We'd be happy to help any way possible. Thank you very much for your time today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Elena.
You have a wonderful week. Thank you.
Have a great week. Thank you very much.